Let's talk about fragrances, shall we? More specifically, one of the most underrated and beautiful freshies out there, in my opinion, is Ralph Lauren Polo Ultra Blue. Let's discuss, shall we? Stay tuned. So, when it comes to the scent of Polo Ultra Blue, it will faintly remind you of the original Polo Blue EDT. The difference here is it's very heavy on the citron note. It's a mega fresh, kind of sharp citrus. It's a little metallic. There's some mineral notes here. There's aromatics. There's lemon to blend with the citron note. It's gorgeous. And look, this citrus stays for the majority of the life. It's a little salty and it gives it that aquatic tone. It definitely smells like the freshest of takes on the Polo Blue DNA. And this is one that is a remarkable scent. If you're looking for just mega fresh, mega fresh, God, this is so good. I've been wearing this one again lately. This is one that I did a collaboration review with my buddy Chad from A Gentleman's Journey, shoot, like 2 years ago on this fragrance, and realized I had never did an individual review on my channel, though I have featured it. It's in my 2022 designer summer list as one I wanted to reach back for this particular summer, and I have been. I have been wearing it, and I got to tell you, it has been an absolute pleasure to wear this fragrance because it just smells so good. It's not too in your face. It's built for the outdoors, in my personal opinion. This is one that needs the heat. Once your body heats up, you're really going to get the benefits of what's special about this fragrance because, believe it or not, if you're just in the indoor climate controlled AC, you're not going to get much after about 45 minutes to an hour of this fragrance. It's going to sit pretty close to the skin. You're going to think it's one of the most weakest of fragrances. This needs the sun. This needs the heat. This is one of those heat activated type of scent profiles because it's so light, fresh, and airy. It needs that. That's where you're really going to get it to shine off of your skin. Granted, it won't be super long lasting, which we'll talk about performance in just a little bit, but for what it is, you should expect that going into it, that you're paying for the freshness, you're paying for the experience. It's a very situational fresh fragrance in my personal opinion. Like I said, built for outdoor events, barbecues, going to your kid's baseball game, pool parties, whatever, you name it, you're outside. This is a great fragrance for it in the summer. Speaking of that performance, I have experienced anywhere from 4 to 6 hours of longevity on my skin. And honestly, indoor climate controlled environments, I actually get the lower end of that spectrum, 4 to 5 hours. Whereas when I get outside, believe it or not, it heating up like this, you would think it would burn off faster. I actually get a little bit more life out of it. So I personally, over the years, been getting 4 to 6 hours of life on my skin. Now, your mileage will vary. For your skin, it may be a 2 to 3 hour fragrance. Then again, for your skin, it could be a 7 or 8 hour fragrance. Everybody's different, but for me, it always seems to fall somewhere in that 4 to 6 hour range, and I'm good with it because this is a super fresh fragrance. That's actually more than I've ever expected it to be in the first place. Projection, again, if you're staying in a climate controlled environment, after about 30 to 45 minutes, it's calming down, it's close to the skin. You're going to think it's just a plain skin scent. Whereas you put it in a heated up situation, you get outdoors, great at the gym, it's going to start projecting. It's going to start really pushing off the skin. Now, we're not talking room filling, mega sillage, giant trail type of projection sillage, but arm's reach, somebody's going to be able to smell you. You're going to be the freshest of the fresh in the area when you're wearing this fragrance. This is one of the best outdoor fragrances I've ever put my nose on and ever put on my skin. So projection, about an hour, hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours, depending on how long you're out sweating, hot, in the sun, fun in the sun type of thing. So around hour to 2 hours, somewhere in that realm if you put it in the right circumstance, like I said, outdoors in the heat. The sillage, same thing. It's going to be on the milder side. It's not a really long and strong trail except for that first hour to 2 hours with all that projection. After that, it dies down. It is going to sit a bit close to the skin, but there's just a mild little trail following you within, very short range. I can't accurately tell you how many feet it is exactly. This isn't some massive compliment getter in my personal experience, but like I said, when people do smell you with this, you are going to be the freshest of the fresh in the group of people you are with. It is that kind of scent profile because the scent is amazing on this, and honestly, for what it is, the performance is exactly where it should be, in my opinion. Final thoughts on this one. I think this is a wonderful addition to the line. This was the freshness that was missing. Look, the Polo Blue EDT fragrance, the original, that was already mega fresh. They heightened it, they modernized it, they tweaked the DNA where it's similar, it belongs in the family. You can tell it belongs in the Polo Blue line, but it's its own entity. It's the least like all the rest of them. Whereas Polo Blue EDT and EDP smell similar. Deep Blue Parfum, you smell the EDT and the EDP. Polo Blue Sport, you smell some of the EDT. Polo Blue Parfum, the newest one, you smell the EDT and the EDP. You get the point. They all relate to one another. This is kind of the dark horse of the group that smells the least like them all, is the absolute freshest. And honestly, if you're in a super high heat, hot climate where you're outdoors a lot, this is going to be a great fragrance in the summer for you to get some really good mileage out of. I think this is very good. This is absolutely a 7.5 out of 10 fragrance in my personal opinion. It smells incredible. It doesn't come across chemically synthetic. The citruses used here are mouth-watering, juicy, and almost to die for. The opening is absolutely magnificent on this fragrance. So, like I said, I stand by my rating, 7.5 out of 10. You can find this one in the $50 range-ish for a 4.2 ounce like this from discounters online, maybe even a little bit cheaper. 75 mLs, obviously more so in that $40 range. And as long as you can understand what you're purchasing and don't expect some super long lasting fragrance, because I'd hate for you to buy this and think, there's a chance that you get in 6, 8, 10 hours out of it. And I'm not saying that's impossible. It's just improbable. It's unlikely because the scent is not built to be as such. There's other fragrances in the line that are built to be a bit longer lasting, a bit louder. This is a very situational, in my opinion, outdoor fragrance that I think does its job that it's intended for perfectly. That is my thoughts on Polo Ultra Blue. Super underrated for the summertime. One of the best mega fresh fragrances for summer. As long as you're not looking for a beast, if you're looking for a great outdoor freshie that's got one of the best openings when it comes to fresh fragrances that are dominated by citrus in the top, you might want to check into this one. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you have this or have tried this? What do you think about it? Not necessarily everybody's going to feel the way I do. Some people, it's going to be a pass for them because they just can't fathom not getting 10 hours out of a fragrance on their skin, and that's totally fine. Everybody's right to spend their money on whatever they want to spend their money on, but I absolutely have uses for fragrances like this. I do a lot of things outdoors. I like to wear a fragrance for everything. I'm extremely seasonal and situational, and I have seasons and situations for this fragrance. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on Polo Ultra Blue and you give it a spray now, I'm confident you'll thank me later because it smells incredible. Have a good one, guys.